going to be funny this, because you've got to be nice to me for like half an hour, haven't you? So I used to wash cars in the morning, go to the job in the estate agency, and then work in the pub in the night. People around you were just animals, work animals. You'd go in on a Saturday and there'd be 25 people in there. And I think after 5 months, I think I've been doing really well. And Lewis was like, okay, do you want to go into sales tomorrow? I said no, and he said, well, you are.
Were there times where you thought, you know what, I just can't do this anymore?
I think I worked that hard, didn't see the struggles because I was enjoying it so much as well. I think 80% people love it, 20% absolutely can't stand me. I could not take my foot off the gas. You think you're safe in the UK, but you're not, you're safer here. Like, you genuinely are safer here.
What was the reason you wanted to change at that point?
Do you know what? I wouldn't happily be the worst agent in that team.
Yeah.
But I just mean, like, give some people a look behind the scenes of me bossing you around.
Can I hear that now?
Action.
So when you came over 10 years ago, you started with an estate agent, didn't you?
Yeah, it's going to be funny this, because you've got to be nice to me for like half an hour, haven't you?
I'm always
All
nice
you
to
do is give me stick, fights, fall out.
Listen, I don't think there's anyone in our business that has given me more headache than you.
No, I don't reckon I've made with anyone my whole entire life more than you.
I reckon there's I won't mention the names, but there's 3 people who I've argued with more than anyone in this business. You just, every time you call me, there's no good news. It's always mate. Bad news.
It's always casing you.
No, you always want something. Never like, how are you, mate? Never, how are you?
Shut up, lad.
You are.
Why do you always
so
try everything
demanding.
in?
No, but you do.
I don't.
And it started from.
I'm probably the most laid back, easiest going in the company.
That's the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. When you came in, I remember when you came in and you were trying to get justification from us all, like that little snotty-nosed kid.
What do you mean?
Just we wanted to like be in the crowd and like be part of it.
Shut up.
You wouldn't leave me alone by my desk.
Fuck.
And then you were in, so you started in Lettons, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I remember with I don't know whether it's been on camera there, with you sitting next to Steve Catterall, who's our business bay manager now. And he used to, I think at the time, no it wasn't, it was after that, Steve used to say, all that he does is just click his fingers and just like shake his leg. So that's all he used to do.
That's all I still do now.
No, before you came, you were working in an estate agency, weren't you?
Yeah, for a year, back at home, year and a half back at home, yeah. Funny enough, I actually went to uni after school.
What was you doing in uni?
Business management, left after 3 months.
Yeah.
And my dad wouldn't let me not have a job, so I worked in the pub at the night, and then I washed cars in the morning.
Yeah.
And then done my apprenticeship, and then I got an apprenticeship in a estate agency. That's how I got into it. So I used to wash cars in the morning, go to the job in a estate agency, and then work in the pub in the night. 18, 19.
Do you reckon that's that side of things?
That's why it was easy when you come here.
Yeah.
And you start work at 8, and you won't finish till 9, 10, because it was used to them hours anyway.
Do you think that's gone now? Do you know, like you?
Yeah, I think not. You still you'll still get the odd person, but not like it used to be. It used to be like a fight to see who was going to be in the office latest, or it would be like everybody was just in on a Saturday and Sunday, or people were viewing, and it was just that there was a lot of work ethic when I first started, so it was easy to fit into it.
Do you think it would be harder to start then or start now?
Start now, 1,000,000%.
Why?
Say this all the time. So if you think about it back then, when I first come here, I did not know a single person in the whole of the UAE. I've never even been anywhere apart from Spain in my life, so I didn't know anyone. So there wasn't the distractions. There was only probably about 2 or 3 brunches to go on, and there was only about 3 pubs to go to. So it wasn't really like you were missing out on much. Now there's just endless of everything, and everybody comes over. They've already come here with like 5 or 6 mates.
But even when you say it's harder now, there's more competition now, though, isn't it?
Much more competition, yeah.
And there's more. I think there's more things that to help us as brokers.
Don't get me wrong. I think it'll be easier to do a deal now,
right?
Because I think it's genuinely, the market is so much better than what it was back then. But I think it was easier to get less distracted and to work harder and to probably stand out a little bit more back then.
So do you think where you are now, and obviously I don't want to run away too much here, but where you are now, them early days has stood you in good stead?
Oh, 1,000,000%, yeah.
Just because of like being, I know you said about getting up at 8 o'clock and coming home at 8 o'clock at night because you were washing cars, but when you're coming into the office, that environment, it was not that it was kill or be killed.
No, it was ruthless. That was good. It was brilliant. It was the perfect environment to go into, because you always wanted to be one better than the person next to you, and the people around you were just animals, work animals. You'd go in on a Saturday and there'd be 25 people in there, and we didn't have a big company, but there would be 25 people in the office, and it would just be norm to be like that. It would be norm to be ruthless and to work 24/7.
Would you say there's specific people in that group, let's say them 15, 20 people, that you took a little bit from, or just that you yourself, you just that, because listen, let's be realistic here. You're not, I'm going to be really rude here.
Conventional.
No, you're not the most academically smart, are you?
No, but I'm not brain dead.
I know you're not brain dead, but you're just all raw, I think.
Yeah.
You're raw.
Yeah, there's nothing else. Like, don't try and be, just, do you think you have to change at all?
Do you think you'd have to be like that?
No, because people buy into people.
But we always talk about you've got to be open to change, though, because you have over the last 10 years.
I can adapt.
Yeah.
I can adapt. I know how to speak to people or where to, like, but 99% of the time I will not change who I am and how I speak to people and how I go about things.
But you'd have to, though,
and I can be intense.
Yeah.
Be so intense. And I say to clients sometimes, like, yeah, I am intense and I give you the most information and I'll follow up with you and I give you this and whatever, but at least you'll never miss out on an opportunity. Whereas you get someone who's quite laid back, a little bit more chill, gives you a bit more space, they probably will miss out on an odd opportunity, but with me, I'm on it, so you never will. So you've got to kind of, like, lesser of two evils. Which one do you want to pick?
Did you think, because obviously you came into Marina Lettings, didn't you? Was sales just the only option for you? No,
didn't want to do it. I remember when I went in, I remember only wanting to do Marina, and I remember everyone saying, like, because I think they'd probably seen a little bit in me, said, don't go in there, do Emirates Living, you'll make more money. And I was like, no, I was just dead set. I don't know why. On Marina, don't even know why, just was. Anyway, went into there, and I think after 5 months, I think I've been doing really well. And Lewis was like, okay, do you want to go into sales tomorrow? I said no, and he said, well, you are. So I rang my dad, and my dad was like, just do it.
I think sometimes you've got to be like that.
Yeah, you have. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
There's been a few people, who else has been like that? I can't remember the name, but there's been a few people whereby they don't like change. But they don't like, if it's going well, why should they change this? I think we've done it with Lee Weston, who's one of our top downtown agents. I had to force her into sales because she was doing well in lettings, but would just not make the move. I actually had to push.
But don't forget, I was only 21 as well, so it was nice and it was fast paced and it was suiting, like, what I was like. And I don't know whether I felt like I was a bit immature or not ready for it yet. So I was only young.
Them early days back in Vision Tower, did you? Because I've got points on here about, and we want to talk about struggles and problems that you had and issue, but you never really, I don't think, had any sort of struggle from day one. Or you mashed it well.
Yeah.
From day one, obviously, until now. Were the times, though, where obviously you came over with your wife now, Lydia, were the times where you thought, you know what, I just can't do this anymore? Or were the times you...
Do you know what? I think I worked that hard, didn't see the struggles because I was enjoying it so much as well. And because I was enjoying it so much, I wanted to work harder. Lydia come over, she went home for a year. That was probably a big struggle, but she supported me and believed in me and knew I was good at it and knew I loved it. So she was like, okay, you stay here, I'll be back in the end. And that was probably the only struggle we ever had. But other than that, no, I think the first year and a half, and I say this to people when they first start, like, what you do, what's the recipe and stuff like that. But because I did genuinely commit my whole life to that job for a year and a half, I think that's why I haven't had so many struggles over the next 8.5 years, 9 years.
I done a podcast the other week with two of our newer starters from developer sales. And I said, I don't think there's anyone who's made an impact as what they have for different reasons. I think you're probably up there in the top 5 who've made an impact on my life as well, in terms of, I know we laughed before about the headache that you give me, but just how you work. And there's things, if I'm ever with people, or whether it be agents or whether it be managers or whether it be everything, and I will always pick something from our best performers or our best agents or whatever it might, our best managers. And one of them with you is, without being this cliched podcast of how relentless you are, and I know we messed before, but you blow my phone up, but you'll phone me 5 or 6 times before I answer, because you think, well, he's going to answer.
Because I forget.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
No, do you know what it is? I need to get it off my chest then, because I'm enthusiastic about it, or I will genuinely just forget.
Do you think, are you like, obviously you're not calling them 5 or 6 times, but would you say you like that with your clients?
I don't let them miss an opportunity. I think that's the way I look at it. Like, and you know what? People, I think 80% people love it, 20% absolutely can't stand me, don't want to ever speak to me ever again. But the 80% who get on board of it, like I said before, will never miss an opportunity. They will get everything that's in front of them. And because I feel like they're on a team with me, I feel like I'm in it more with them. And if I feel like that with them, then I'll make sure I work even harder for them. So that's probably why that's my relentlessness. But it's probably a bit like an ADHD condition, but using it to a good kind of source, you know what I mean?
How do you switch off?
I don't think I do, to be honest with you. The only time I ever really switch off is when I'm abroad.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like to get away, because I think if I'm here, even when I've got family members, and that's one of my goals this year, is to be a bit more in the moments, especially when I've got like my mum and dad over, and my sister, my little niece, and mum and dad and stuff like that, to be a little bit more in the moment, because I think the last 9 years, I'm just on my phone, constantly checking, thinking about what I'm going to do. But when I'm abroad, or I'm in holiday, or back at home or something, I do genuinely switch off.
There's no, and we've said this many times, haven't we? There's no, in this job, I think, to be the real elite, there is no work-life balance, isn't there?
No. But you've got to enjoy it as well. You've got to embrace it. And
do you enjoy this?
Yeah, love it.
Okay.
And you've got to, and your partners have got to embrace it. Your family's got to embrace it, and they do. And if you get all them on board, life's not that hard.
Do you think, Lydia, your wife, do you think that there's times when she just thinks, do you know what, I need a break from all this? Because she's living in herself. I know she's got her own business, but she's also like all our partners and wives. They're living it also, aren't they? Where it's just, when is it ever enough?
I think she probably want a little bit more attention.
Right.
When she's telling me a story, and I'm just like, all right, 1 minute, let me just text these back, blah, blah. That is probably, but other than that, she's got like the patience of a saint.
She's always been like that, hasn't she?
She's always been like that.
Let's go back to not when you first started, when you moved into sales.
Yeah.
Was there a point when you thought, you know what, I've cracked this, I know what I'm doing, I've got this? Because I know you've got clients, I understand you've got repeat clients, but you're very repetitive in terms of the deals that you do, and not, I wouldn't say that you do 5, 6, 7 deals with the same person. It's all individual deals, isn't it?
All of them are different. I remember the last full year I'd done 98 sales, and I think every single one was a different person.
Was there a point though, when you started to do really well, where you thought, you know what, I know what I'm doing here?
Yeah, I think I remember like a little bit of starting 2015, started to do all right towards the end of 2015. That's like when I first went to sales. I remember 2016, I struggled. I remember sitting down with you and going through a few things. And then I think towards the end of that year, started to find my feet then. But it took, 18 months, 19 months, a full year of sales to start figuring out how to do this job. But then after a while, it just it becomes second nature. Like, I could not take my foot off the gas, but I could do, and I started to learn how to work smart, and I did.
Where I thought it changed for you is when we moved, a little bit before that, but when we moved to the Palm office, I noticed you grow up in a sense where, because you're a leader, you're definitely a leader. We'll talk about your managerial skills later on, but you are a leader, and people will follow what you do. And I remember sitting down with you once, and I was saying to you, Ryan, you're going to burn yourself out. I can't remember what year it was, but you said you're going to burn yourself out for the amount of things that you're doing. You need to work smarter in a way where let other people work around you. And then when people started to come in, you took them under their wing and everything else, and you let people probably flourish themselves, because you made more money than, for them as well as for you. But you also started to work smarter. And you started to get people on side. Obviously, a lot of friends came in to work with you as well. But that's when I seen a massive change, not just in what you did from a revenue and a commercial point of view, but from more of like a growing up, when you started to grow up.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't remember what
that was like 2018, but I was still only 24 then, so it was still young, and I got made the assistant manager. But it was, but yeah, I think that's when I really started to enjoy this job as well. That when I started trying to take off the pressure off myself and start giving it to other people. And obviously it's hard at first, you want to keep everything to yourself because you think that you can do it better than everyone else.
That's your business.
But I had good mates who come into the business, and I trust them, and I wanted them to do well as well. So,
but we say that, don't we? Like we say all the time, we are we're a partner with Allsopp and Allsopp.
Yeah.
You're running your own business. And that's your marina team at the time. Obviously, we're going to the private office soon, but your marina at the time was like a mini business for you.
Yeah, of course.
And that's where I seen you flourish. Let's fast forward a little bit. And let's talk about when you started to elevate your personal, not just your personal brand, but your personal wealth. I hate saying that because it sounds a little bit cheesy. When did you buy your first property?
Bought in the marina. I bought in the marina on the Friday night, and COVID got announced on the Saturday morning.
You worried about that, didn't you?
Yeah, shit myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Can I swear in this?
Yeah, yeah.
Shit myself on it. Shit myself. I did, but still went through with it. And it was probably the best thing. And I think a lot of us bought within that time, didn't we? Within that like 2-month period. I don't think anyone done it on purpose, did we? But we just conveniently all got a property around the same time. But it worked out well, yeah.
And then, so now you bought that. That was in Almajar, I think.
Yeah.
Then you moved on to another, I think you bought another.
Nova Majara.
Yeah.
And then there's been Jumeirah Park and then a couple of investments here and there.
Have you only got your portfolio here, or have you got properties back in the UK?
No, I've got a few back at home. I've got 5 back at home as well.
How are they performing?
Do you know what? I just typically bought them houses to do them up and get them on a mortgage, buy-to-let scheme, and they're all right, but going forward, I don't think I'll buy anything back in the UK. I think it'll put me, like what I've done recently, put more money into UAE markets.
I think that's what happens a lot.
It does, but it's because you think you're safe in the UK, but you're not. You're safer here. Like, you genuinely are safer here.
What we're seeing, I'm sure, listen, you're on the ground, so I'm sure you see it a lot more than what I do, is I think when you first started, which is obviously 10 years ago, people were coming over and you were renting for 4 or 5 years. And then looking at how the landscape was, looking how Dubai, if they enjoyed it when they had kids and so on and so forth. But now that time's a lot shorter for them renting and buying. You look, they're coming over now, people, aren't they? And they're spending 12.
Got a 15-year plan now rather than a 3-4 year plan.
Yeah, and I know the UK gets a lot of stick at the moment, but it's just the more and more you see, and I say this all the time. Anytime there's unrest anywhere, or anytime you look at crime rates and everything else, this place flourishes. It's like COVID. When you think about COVID, this place never shut.
No, and I was speaking of that the other day, it never shut. And then literally the day the doors opened, it wasn't like we got put inside. We got put inside our house or our apartment. We're only allowed to leave it once a day. And you didn't hear people, like in the UK, people like, like riots and want to start protest and whatever. We got on with it. So as soon as them doors opened again, we were pretty much back to normal life straight away. And I think that's why the rest of the world's seen that and wants to come over and join us. Is
your plan now, obviously you've got a couple of properties here, you've just moved into your family home, which is absolutely, I've seen pictures of it, I haven't invited me around yet, but it's absolutely incredible.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is your plan now to continue to do that, or do you want to put a pause? And what's the plan now?
Do you know what? I think I've done a lot over the past few couple of years, and I haven't overdone myself, but I've put myself on like the breadline by buying these properties and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind enjoying myself for a few months and just relax. But of course, get back into investing, definitely.
I'm going to ask you a question here.
Go on.
They're going to be uncomfortable with.
What on?
I'm only kidding. For anyone that doesn't know, Ryan left me for a brief period. He had a midlife crisis, left me.
And we cried, remember?
And then,
we cried.
And then come back knocking on my door. I want to come back.
Well,
no, listen. I don't want to harp on about it too much. But what was the reason you wanted to change at that point?
Do you know what? It's a bit of a difficult one because it wasn't like I was not performing. It was probably the top of I could have ever been. It was just
because I upset you.
Well, you always upset me. No. Do you know what? I think it was just an opportunity where I was going to do something different.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I looked at what you did and I thought, you know what, I could have a little go at that. And then I took the opportunity and thought, you know what, I might never get this opportunity again. I'll have a go of it. What's the worst that can happen? Blah, blah. But then the reason I've come back is because how successful I have been at Allsopp and how much I loved it there. There wasn't a need for me to be an agent anywhere else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there was an opportunity to be a different role somewhere else for 8 months or whatever what it was.
See what it was like.
But for what I was for being an agent, I didn't need to change that.
Yeah.
So that's why I come back to be an agent. Yeah.
Apart from that, what do you think that because we have people who leave, and listen, we don't want to ever close the door on anyone who leave, because people want to scratch an itch like you did. You want to see if you could manage or do a different role. Why do you think people do that and not do that but come back? Is it because of the culture in Allsopp and Allsopp? Do you think it's because of the opportunity, the lead generation? What do you think that is?
I think it's the opportunity. Like, if you look at, people say to me all the time, I'm going to go and join a company where they've got 3 or 4 brokers.
Yeah.
Let's say for a marina team, it's very easy for me to use an example. So if you go and join a team where they've got 3 or 4 brokers in the marina team and you bring a lister on, 90% of the time is Allsopp and Allsopp probably had that lister for the last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And they've got 16 people in their team who they can sell it to.
But people think that's a hindrance though. Let's say
How can it be though? Because if you've got the listing and they've got 3 opportunities, like 3 agents
I
to sell
agree
it
with you,
with,
by
you've
the
got
way,
16 agents to sell it with, like, you've got to count your chances there a little bit more, haven't you? So
I agree with you.
that's why I think people will come here.
Yeah.
And you know what? Listen, and I'll throw my hands in now. When I was first at Marine Team with 5 of us, and every time you put people in, was I probably one of the first people to be like, what are you doing?
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
What did I do every single year?
Yeah.
Earn more and more money, because
there's more opportunity.
People were bringing me more opportunities. I was good at what I was doing, so I was being able to sell them opportunities. But then also I was getting the listings, and you know what I was like at listings.
Yeah.
Don't think there's ever been anybody who's ever had more listings than me. And also, if I got these listings, I had an amazing team around me to sell them for me.
And we look now, like when we bring in new starters.
Yeah.
There's a science behind when we bring in new starters. We look at our market share, and you look at our market share for, I think, there's 20 areas where we have double digits, 20 areas, but as an accumulative, our market share is, listen, it's single digits. Yeah. So there's still so much to go. So I'm of the opinion, not to pack people in, because that will just piss people off at times, but there comes more opportunity.
No,
like you said, it's...
Even in our private office team, I would love our team to be as big as it can. I'd love to be the I'd love to be the way. I wouldn't be happily be the worst agent in that team, because I know for a fact that the class that I'd be working around me would bring me more opportunities.
Let's talk about private office.
Yeah.
So you came back, what is it now, mate? Is it 6 months? More than that, isn't it?
No, nearly a year.
It's a year now, isn't it? Sorry,
it's 10 months, yeah.
And
it feels like 6, doesn't it?
I know, yeah. You've come... I feel like you've never been away. And you've had to come... Is it fair to say you've had to completely change? You probably haven't, have you?
Put a few more pairs of chinos on.
Yeah. Well, because obviously you used to sell anything in a marina, whether it be $1 million dirham or whether it be 10 million dirham. Yeah. But obviously the way the market's gone now, and there's a buzz around the high net worth individuals, isn't it, the $10 million and so on and so forth. Do you think that you dealing with these ilk of people, you've had to change your personality? And I know you said at the start you won't change for anyone.
Do you know what? No, I don't think I've changed my personality as such, and I think people like it. I think if you look at the properties I've sold, there've been properties which have been pretty much like exclusive with me. Yeah. And I think them sellers have liked, and probably it's a bit of a breath of fresh air rather than someone being like, listen, the worst word is I'm professional, very professional, but I don't turn up in a 3-piece suit and a clipboard and be someone I'm not. Whereas I think these sellers are actually enjoying having a bit of fresh air, listening to someone who's being honest and raw with them. And I think that's why they get the property sold as well.
I don't think, and listen, it's a matter of opinion. I think if you're knowledgeable, you know what you're talking about, you're confident, and you direct people in the right way. Yeah. I think this job it's the same like throughout the card. Whether you're selling to a 2 million dirham or 2 million dirham property, right up into a 200 million. If they buy into you and you show value to them,
that's it, 100%.
I think it's like that just like that in life, being able to adapt to a conversation. Yeah. We've had so many people come into this company and they've been what I call wide awake, and you can, with numbers, they're very smart, and technically they're very gifted, but put them in a room with, again, me and you. Yeah. They talk to them like they would talk to someone who's a CEO of Bank of America or something like that.
Switch off.
Yeah.
You do genuinely switch off because you can see right through it.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought, if I'm going to go to these appointments, I'm not going to change myself, because if they think they can see right through me, I'm never going to win anyway. So I may as well be myself and then hope for the best, because I do know what I'm doing.
How do you see our private office evolving?
I think that we'll start to get some of the best agents in Dubai in there, and we'll obviously embrace that. I don't think there's a better company in Dubai which has pretty much everything. We've got the network, we've got the database, we've got the CRM, we've got the spends on the property portals. We're not too, I don't know, structured and regimented, and we've got a good camaraderie. So I think it just ticks every box for people to come in and to work with good people, like honest, normal people who are going to be on your level and enjoy yourself as well.
I think what we're finding as well, right, is that we're getting to a point, and obviously when we opened the private office, we were in and amongst these big deals, but now every week, listen, our bread and butter for the last 14, 15 years has always been, let's say, between the 2.5 to 3.5 mark. Yeah. Now every week there's a big deal going on the board, or not just one big deal. Because we have on our clipboards the amount of deals that happen, and then a threshold in terms of price range. Yeah. And that number over the 36 million dirhams is getting more and more.
And do you know what's good about it? It's not just private office. Yeah. It's private office, ranches, private office, Emirates living, like private office, marina agents. Like it's not just private, me, Charlie and whoever, and Ted and Lindsay and Chloe doing the deals together. It's us doing deals of different areas, and they're putting astronomical numbers on the board by just passing over leads and letting us do our job pretty much.
And you mentioned it before about when we were in Vision Tower, about looking at these numbers, what people were doing. How do you feel now from then to what people are doing now in terms of figure-wise? It's 10x, isn't it?
Well, I think I remember what our best agent done that year, and I'm pretty sure that our best agent doubled that last month.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? So it's just
crazy. Where do you think you're, and I know we can't, listen, we haven't got a crystal ball. 2 questions. Where do you think you personally are going to evolve next?
What in personal life or work
just
life?
Personal life, just in.
I want to be a dad, have a family, settle down.
Do you think that will affect your work when you have a family?
No, it'll give you more motivation.
Absolutely no chance. It'll make it even worse.
Yeah, I'll be even more unbelievable. And then work-wise, it's just carrying on what I'm doing. I think I needed to go and come back because, like I said, I was doing nearly 100 deals a year in the marina, running around like a headless chicken, and I probably would never have got out of there unless I did that change. And then since I've come in, I've gone in 2-footed, and I'm enjoying it. And I haven't had the easiest ride. I've had massive deals, bigger deals than anyone would even think to imagine that haven't happened, and then it might happen again, and then so on, and then happened again, and it's an emotional roller coaster. Yeah. But like, I think I'm immune to being upset and feeling sorry for myself. Just got to crack on and keep going. Do that.
Final question, mate. If you had a substantial amount of money at the moment, let's say you've got 20-25 million dirhams to spend, what project are you passionate about at the minute? Or
Palm Jebel Ali.
Palm Jebel Ali, okay. Yeah. Why is that?
Just can't see it going wrong. I think it's going to be incredible. You look at we're saying a standard house there. It's a standard house there is a fully renovated, extended plot, built up villa on the Palm Jumeirah, which is now 55-60 million, which you're buying there for 21, 22, 23 million.
I agree. I totally agree. Right, thanks very much for your time,
mate. No problem, mate. Thanks for being nice.
Thank you, mate.
Did you enjoy that?
It was all right. That went quick as well, didn't it?